Hey everybody, it's Andy here, AK Montolio, and we're back for another Vintage League, and we're playing some old school smokestacks today. This has all the good stuff in it. It's got tangle wires, it's got smokestacks, it's got the full play set of crucibles, null rods, you name it. This deck is fun. Golo shops really at its crux. We've got the expected mana base today. We are going to run a singleton ghost quarter because we've got all these crucible worlds and we want to be able to nuke all the basics that we can. And it's just nice having an extra wasteland. We are going to run the Inventor's Fair package because being able to tutor up something mid to late game is very important. And of course, we've got these crucibles to be able to recur it, and the incidental late game could be important. Everything else you would expect. We got the full set of spheres, Trinisphere. We got some Revokers. So the problem with this deck is it's very creature light. Any type of pressure is going to put us in a bad spot. I would expect us to likely be a dog against White Initiative with this deck. But who knows? Who's playing smokestacks, right? Don't know until you try it. Sideboard, not a whole lot to say about it. We've got our typical Bazaar package. We've got a couple cages, a needle, two tabernacles. I'm going to bring in a few Wurmcoils if we get into a situation where we're playing in a mirror specifically. A few dismembers for the aforementioned initiative matchup, and of course, my Brick Trap to combat any type of combo that we may face. Lots of Beseech the Mirror out there right now. As always, guys, appreciate you hanging out. Please hit the like, subscribe button, comment, and we're going to see you round one. Okay, here we are in round one. We did not win the die roll, but this looks like a pretty reasonable hand. We're playing against Luris, so this could be a grindy game. Let us see. Okay. A little bit of a scary card here. Tough situation. I think I'm just going to try and tangle wire and tie my opponent up for a couple turns here. If this gets countered, it sucks, but it is what it is. If it doesn't and we get wastelanded, we will try and rebuy ourselves back into the game with a couple turns. They do have a counter spell for it, and pretty reasonable thing to counter. Now, hopefully we don't get wastelanded. And this is what happens sometimes when you're playing workshops, and especially when you're on the draw. Your opponent can just tempo you out with a turn one creature, and then follow up with a counterspell and then wasteland. Do they want to cast a Revoker? I would be totally fine if that's how they utilize their mana. Okay, we didn't get wastelanded, which is the good news. Smokestacks is not looking very good in this particular instance. Yeah, we're kind of in a bad spot here, as I don't even really want to play the sphere. So I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to smokestack, and we'll see what happens here. Oh, we can't cast that, of course. Well, we are behind here. Guess I'm just going to cast a sphere here. Hopefully we draw a Sol land and don't get wastelanded. Yeah, this is totally fine. I think that's a win for me. This pass turn here. I'm not going to wasteland because I need to try and get to Golos. Golos changes the trajectory of the way this game's being played right now. The damage I'm not concerned about. It's more Ragavan picking me off one by one here. Okay, Sphere. They don't want to cast that, I'm presuming. Oh, we get stripped. Okay. Well, that's pretty bad for me. Yeah, these smokestacks are looking real bad here. Yep. All right. Think we can scoop them. A little bit of a premature concession there, but the likelihood that we're able to pull back is very low. Okay. Now, I do think Smokestack is more viable on the draw than on the play. I don't think I want this. I have a whole bunch of Crucible of Worlds and stuff that can come in here too. I'm going to do this. The null rods are not amazing against what my opponent is doing, but they definitely can slow them down. And having multiple null rods in the deck is not as bad when you're running smokestacks because we may have the option to be able to counter them. And so I think that is my outlook on things here. There may be some merit to bringing in a Tabernacle Pendra Veil if we're able to lock our opponent out, but I'm not going to do that this turn. Perhaps if we get to game 3 and we're on the draw. Okay, this one I can't keep. Much better. I mean, it's still super clunky, but we don't have a turn 1 play, so I'm just going to play a Saga. What are we going to put back here? I can put a Golos back. And if my opponent wastelands this, it just gives us another opportunity to draw another land, or something that we can perhaps cast with our workshop. I'm not liking this matchup though. Like Force and Negation really beats up on this particular deck. Spell Pierce, etc. But let's see. I mean, our hand is not great. Yep, that sure makes Smokestack look terrible, doesn't it? Okay, well, I'm going to try and get a Lodestone Golem in here. Okay, that's in. Good. Next turn we can do a Revoker. And hopefully, okay, go Wasteland. Yep. I mean, this isn't the worst because I'm going to be able to keep my Saga token or my Saga turn it into a Soul Ring. Ooh, that's not bad, actually. Yeah, we're getting a Soul Ring for sure. I feel like creatures are better to cast here. It's not an efficient use of my mana, but I think that's okay. And I hope they don't have Lightning Bolt here. Okay. They are underneath my Golem now. And I'm going to play with the Karakas because I do need to progress my game plan here. Cannot attack. I mean, I could attack, but I'm not going to. All right, we're in this more than I thought we were. My opponent still has a mitt full of cards here, so I'm not sure how bad or good that is for us. But it's usually a lot of cards are not a good thing. Time Walk, okay. I can live with that. So Tabernacle Pendra Veil may be something we do want to consider if they're trying to do a go wide approach on me. Ooh, Dreadhorde, I don't like that. This is really not optimal, but we're going to play it anyways and hope to draw sol lands here. The Dread Horde is really a scary card here, especially as Swords to Plowshares. We just pretty much die if Swords comes in. Oh, they're tapping for white. Okay, so they've got this one. Alrighty. Round 2. See if we can do a little bit better here. All right. I feel like Smokestack's got to be the card to go. I just don't know what I'm playing against. The Null Rod doesn't feel very good here, but I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to go like this, cast a Soul Ring. This is likely going to get countered because my opponent will know I'm weak on lands here. It didn't, and I'm going to throw this on Black Lotus to try and mitigate what my opponent's doing, or the power level of their turn 1 play. And if I need to Null Rod next turn, then I think that's reasonable. Your go. I have always loved Smokestacks. I forget the name of what these tournaments were called on Magic Online back in the day, but they were kind of the first of the real competitive big vintage events. And I got to the finals, and I played a player by the name of Jugia with a J, like Jug Aya or something like that. And they beat me on in a workshop mirror. They were playing Smokestacks, and I just remember how brutal the beating was and how much I loved the deck as a result of it. I guess I'm going to play Null Rod and just sit back on Saga. Yeah. I mean, it slows me down, but as a matter of fact, it slows me down significantly, but I mean, it is what it is. If this resolves, I'll feel good about it. I don't think it will, though, with my opponent sitting on 6 cards here. Nope. They got rid of Tinker, though, which is the good news. So let's see what happens here. Your Saga versus my Saga. Time walk. Okay, so they've got Vault Key set up here. So if I get to untap here, which it looks like I'm going to, I have a main deck Needle, I believe. Okay. Pretty sure I have a Needle here. Manifold Key. And yeah, I mean, I'm going to cast Tangle Wire. I don't expect this to resolve either, but if it does, it's pretty good. It's a lot of damage coming in. Now, hopefully they can't bounce my Needle here. That would be pretty devastating if they could. Okay, this gets all their stuff here. Now, of course, they can go and get a Black Lotus, but I've got Lotus shut off. Sol Ring is a possibility. Sensei's top. I'm going to have to figure out the way to set my triggers on Tangle Wire. It's been quite a few years since I've cast a Tangle Wire, and I forget how it goes on Magic Online. Where it starts to get complex is if you have a Tangle Wire and Smokestack in play at the same time. Okay, nice good win for us there. We're playing against some combos, so we definitely want our 4th Null Rod to come in. That goes without saying. I could also see some number of mind break traps as well. Now, I'm not sure that we need to do this per se, but I think smokestack is just the likeliest cut here. Probably can cut an Inventor's Fair. Ghost Quarter, I don't know how many basics they're going to run. Tangle Wire actually probably is not that amazing against them. Cut out a smokestack, cut out a couple wires. I think this is probably kind of what I want to do here. Something like this. I realize Mind Break Trap might not be good, but I do like to say when you're running Golos, you do always have the option of going to get a Tolarian Academy mid to late game, and you can hardcast Mind Break Trap. Okay, this has some tools in it. We've got the Smokestack Crucible combo. Okay. Was not expecting a Thoughtseize here. I just absolutely love Thoughtseize. It's one of my all-time favorite cards. Gotta respect it. So my question is what do we want to do here? I do have a Strip Mine lock. Yeah, they took Crucible, okay. Which is a pretty good pick if you ask me. Huh. 4 cards in hand. I am wondering about weakness of land here. I guess the only caveat here is Urza's Saga. Mox Ruby. And next turn we can Strip Mine and cast Smokestacks, which is pretty good. We'll just conceal the Mox for now. I would like to get a Smokestack going here, just because I'm basically playing this deck because of Smokestack. And to be clear, not because it's good, just because it's super fun. Oh dear, what are you doing over there? Okay. Maybe Hercule's Recall or something. I'm going to take that Academy away. There's no doubt about that. So my question is, do I want Sphere here? I do think so. Like, if they have Hercule's Recall, they're going to do it now. Which I'm okay with, because it's trading 1 for 1 here, and we'll recast this next turn. Oh, interesting. Wow. Okay. That was really aggressive. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. Okay. 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 Round 3. We did win a die roll this time. This is a pretty nice looking hand. It's obviously vulnerable to a wasteland, but you're not turning this one away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sequence this workshop into sphere. And this lulls them into, oh, okay, I've got 3 mocks in my hand. I can cast through that. Now you cast the chalice at 0, which is a very powerful turn 1 play. Now, as I say, this hand is vulnerable to Wasteland. There's no doubt about that. And if my opponent goes Bizarre, we've got a Tangle Wire to at least hold things up for a little bit. Okay, that is an Underground Sea. Let's draw a Sol land here so we can cast Smokestack. Now they may have a Force of Negation here that this plays into, but I like that better, casting this better than casting a Revoker here. Okay, we're in. Lorien revealed, yep, makes sense. Something that we got to start thinking about naming. We just need to find some lands off the top here. Now I believe it's this way first. Yeah, you want it to fade. Now we'll tap 3 permanents. I'm very happy to tap. Okay, that's a bit awkward. So we don't have much going on here, but we're going to cast a Revoker here. Don't think we want to name Lorien Revealed. They've also gone through 1. Yeah, I'm going to do a Lorien Revealed here. Let's just test it out. It'd be pretty funny if they had one in hand and didn't think I would name it. So this will allow us to cast a Golos this turn, or if we would like, we can cast a Smokestack. Now they can start making tokens here, which is probably not great for me. Okay, that is a dead card. Yes, we go get Soul Ring, cast a Golos, I think is my guess here. Like I can... No, I have to get the Soul Ring. I need the mana. I hope they don't have Force of Will. They don't. And I'm going to guess I get a Wasteland. Huh, Academy is really good here too. Yeah, I got to get a Tolarian Academy. They can make some Golos tokens here. Or some constructs. That's fine with me. Because we're going to have a pretty big Karn Wish Ward that we can go and hit up here. Yeah, Wormcoil looks solid. Tangle Wire has been decent so far this game. Discard a Lorien Reveal. Alright, wouldn't mind another Tangle Wire to be perfectly honest with you. Or a Wasteland. My owner is a Saga. Well, 11, 12 mana. They might counter this one. No interest. Okay. So do I have a 2-drop that matters? Oh, they've conceded. Yeah, I guess we would have got no rod there. We have tons of mana. And cast it. I'm not sure what we're playing against here. Just maybe this is the blue-black control deck, Bowmaster deck. I might bring in a couple counter spells just in case. Tango Wire was really good there. Take out a Smokestacks. Let's try something like this. My opponent may be more combo than I actually were giving them credit for. Maybe just bringing in the extra Null Rod is probably fine in this situation, and we'll just cut a Crucible. Because they've been gummed, we were on the play and we had them gummed up since the first turn. So I think the Mindbreak Traps could be reasonable. And I don't absolutely hate having them in my deck if they're just a slower control deck. Could come a point in the game where they're relevant. We have enough redundancy in our deck that I don't mind making some of these cuts. Probably fine. It's a little bit clunky. I don't really like the double Ancient Tomb. Maybe I can just do better than this. Maybe I can just do better than this. Yeah, I'm gonna go down. Yeah, much happier. Much happier. So the question is what do I put away here? My opponent could be on Wastelands if they're on the Bowmaster deck. I think I'm gonna put away Tangle Wire. Yep. Null Rod looking strong here. Question is, can I resolve it? I'm wondering if I should bait with Sphere and try and hit them next turn. It's possible. But I feel like the upside of resolving a Null Rod right now is really strong. They did not see Null Rod last game either. Okay, I've talked myself into it to go for it. And if it doesn't work, it is what it is. Sometimes you got to make your opponent have it, and this is a situation where I don't see the Sphere being immensely impactful. Because look at all the mana they have here. And so it's possible that they could have Force of Will, Force of Negation out of these two cards. But let's see what they do, because a Null Rod is real good. It's in. And now we're going to be able to gum the game up with Spheres. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to put 2 in play next turn, but let's see if we would have drawn a Soul Lander better. We're not going to find out. Okay. Okay. We did not win the die roll, and this is probably Jewel Shops that we're facing down, but my opponent does not go off. I think we have a good chance here. But if we were on the play here, boy, oh boy, would this be powerful. Okay. Okay. Well, we have some time to find something here. We've got the Revoker, but if the Revoker doesn't resolve, it's going to be really hard on us here. See if we can get in. We're going to put it on Time Vault. Actually, do I put it on Manifold Key? I'm going to put it on Manifold Key. Then we're going to take away the PO Avenue from them. Pass turn. The reason I'm doing the Manifold Key is it can allow them to make constructs that are unblockable. And we are facing down some constructs here, unfortunately. And in addition to that, you can have antics with Sensei's top. All right, so we're going to need to find some answers here very quickly, or we're going to die to constructs. Yeah, this is unfortunate. Okay, do the best we can. What do we want to get here, guys? Null Rod would be pretty good if we can go and fetch one. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to get a Tolarian Academy here. I cannot attack. Because they're going to get some, I don't know, probably like a Sensei's top here is my guess. And try and combo us out. But if I'm able to go and fetch and cast a Null Rod this turn, it's very powerful. It's going to shut off everything that they're doing. And it will make their other Urza Saga useless. That is my hope here. If we ever find a Crucible of Worlds, we can recur the Inventor's Fair and take over the game that way. Now, this is what my hope is. My opponent may have completely different plans. Okay, they are not interested in that. And of course, I'm not 100% sure what my opponent's playing. I guess this could be a big PO, which is pretty reasonable. Ooh, yuck. Well, that was one reason to name Time Vault. Let's see. Oh, I guess they can't. They're not doing that. I guess it doesn't work. Okay. Displacer Kitten is a frightening card. This is definitely Jewel. Okay. They still can cast Jewel if they have it. Isn't she the cutest thing you've almost seen? Dawn Purveyor of Exotic Pets. Okay, Metamorph. They're just making another kitten here, or what are they doing? Golos. Another Construct. Revoker. Interesting. What would they name with Revoker here? That's an interesting choice. They're obviously scared of something that I'm going to do. Maybe they thought they could shut off Inventor's Fair here. They have to realize I'm going for Inventor's Fair. I do need to watch these constructs. These constructs are getting big. Like a null rod doesn't completely solve my issue here. And maybe I have to go and get... the thing about the null rod that is nice is it shuts off the majority of my opponent's mana. And they're not pressuring me that hard here. Like, yes, this construct is going to be big, and yes, they can make another construct here. If they don't make a construct, though, okay, they are. So I might have to change my game plan here. Let's see what I draw. That's a lot of power coming my way. I will take that. We're going to get a life back here in a second. Okay, Caracas. Caracas does allow me to go get my Owner's Saga. Right, Null Rod shuts all of this stuff off. They can't make another construct. I'm going to have to do some chump blocking. I can chump block one with the Revoker because it will be off. Okay. This is not optimal, but this is where we're going. And then we can start bouncing Golos. Not ideal, guys. I guess what my mistake there was not playing the Caracas. Because I could have just bounced Golos and got a block in. That was really a distasteful play on my part. Had I thought about it just for a second more, I would have realized that it was a way better line for me. All right, let's see what they got. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to get out of this. The constructs are just too big. Lotus, okay. Yeah, they're big boys. Yeah, big mistake there. Okay. I don't think even with playing the Caracas was going to be enough, but Crucible. Yeah, just a little bit short here. Okay. All right, close, guys, close. We lost to Urza Saga Constructs that game and did not play that one optimally. We definitely want all the Mind Break traps here. I don't know if I need 2 cages or not. I feel like we're just really well set up here. I probably don't need to have all these tangle wires. But I kind of like everything else that I have going on here. Okay, this is good enough. Questionable whether I need 4 Mind Break traps, but Jewel is a pretty explosive deck. How do I feel about this hand? It's pretty clunky. I think we can do better. Not this one. Okay. What do I want to do here? Okay, one more to go back here. Probably, I mean, Revoker will lose a lot of value if the actual null rad resolves. Probably put Sphere back here. All right, guys, here goes. Null rod's really good if it gets through. Nope. Opponent had the force. Okay. I feel like we have a really good Jewel matchup, to be honest. We just mulligan to 5 this game. It's going to be hard. And you could argue to keep your opener. It's possible. Okay, it's not so bad. Now shutting off this Mox could be pretty good here. If I can get this in. Double force would be unfortunate. Also could have Dismember. And if we draw a Sol land or better, we can play Sphere next turn while playing Urza Saga constructs, like animating the Saga. All right, nothing, eh? Interesting. All right, I guess we're making constructs. We have to do it before they sacrifice their Saga here, but let's see what happens. Now, they could go crazy on us here. This might have been a selfish line not to play in the Revoker of the Sphere, but we're going to do our best. They didn't have a land last turn, so let's see what they have this turn. Okay, Saga in. Yeah, maybe that was a mistake. Trying to get complete value. Yeah, Black Lotus. Okay, they're going for it. Gonna try and do something here. Okay, that is 6 mana for a Jewel. Yep. Oh, Worm Coil. Okay. That's far worse than a Jewel. Go get a Soul Ring, I guess. I don't want the Sphere. Probably. Maybe not, though. I'm going to revoke here. Because I'm 1 mana away from being able to cast a Golos here, which is pretty significant. And I'm going to put this on Grim Monolith. Something like this. Yeah. Okay. I mean, we're not dead here, but the Worm Coil is a problem. I'd like to be able to trade one construct for the Worm Coil if I can. Okay, Workshop was a good hit for them. They got another Metamorph shite. Yeah, that's going to ice me. Where I could win this if I had a sideboarded differently is had I brought in a Tabernacle. But I guess if we draw a Karn, I put a Karn on the bottom. Yeah, this does not help at all. I don't know what to even put this on here. I don't really want to put it on Urza Saga because that's one of the ways I get out of it. And I have 3 more ways to get Urza Saga with Crucible of Worlds. Actually, 7 of them with Golos. More than what my opponent has here. Doesn't really matter. Okay. Once again, I mean, I'm flirting with Jewel here by not playing the Sphere, but I don't want to play the Sphere. We're just going to have to hope that we can cast Golos next turn. We're going to double block the 2 Wormcoils. To think that 1 land can produce these 2 creatures that can tangle with 12 mana worth of Wormcoil. It's pretty wild. Hopefully my opponent has no play. Mike Weakstone. Yep. All right. Just drawing cards. This one's over, guys. Oh, Academy. Come on. All right. Okay, here we go, guys. We didn't win the die roll, but this is a pretty decent hand. We're going to keep it. We got lots of mana. We got some mana disruption. We got Needle. And, of course, the main reason we're running it is for Glowstone Golem. So let's see what my opponent has. Now, if they drop turn 1 Oath, that's pretty bad for me. Okay, a little bit flooded here, unfortunately. I think, what is the likelihood I'm going to play in a Mindbreak Trap here or Daze? I don't know. I feel like this player I'm against right now is more of a fish player. I think it's more likely that they have a Daze. So let's try this out, see if we can slam that Lodi in there. Always a pleasant player. I don't want to put the Needle in because I'm not sure what they're doing. Like, there's no point in putting it on Mr. Rainforest because the likelihood that they don't fetch is very low, and probably even lower that they have a second Misty in hand. But yeah, see, this is good for me. That's what I want to happen. Still not sure what my opponent's playing. Guess I'll play Saga out. And probably, like, I'd like to use my Wasteland, but I don't really want to shut Wasteland off on the Saga. I'm going to throw the Needle on Oko here. Could be totally wrong. And if this resolves, of course, okay, they are going to flick the Misty. So I guess I played this poorly. Because if they fetch a non-basic, which they did, I could have Wastelanded them there. But instead I chose to play the Saga. That's okay. I mean, they both have their merits, right? Putting the Saga out does increase my chances of being able to kill them faster, but taking them off lands is no small thing here. Yeah, so they did have a Wasteland. Okay. But now we're going to get them with the Wasteland, hopefully. Take them off of, I don't know, Spell Pierce or something like that. Okay, that's gone. That's good for me. And we're going to play a 3-ball. I'll play the workshop because I want to be able to conserve. Oh, I've already used my wasteland here. Oops. Tight play here. Tight play, guys. Still like the way things are set up here. It's pretty good. But it'd be nice to get some help off the top of the deck here. Yep. That is not good. The lodestone is doing some work here. It's been a while since I've beat down with a lodestone. For those of you who watch my videos or follow Vintage closely, I have not been on more shops for quite a few years now. I just don't think the deck is what it used to be, but we are seeing some resurgence here recently, and it feels pretty good. Okay, my opponent needs to find a way to get this lodestone off the table. All right, they did not. So this feels like a bug deck that I could be playing against. If that's the case, I probably want some number of dismembers. I couldn't see this. Bughead does have trouble with Worm Coil. This is probably fine. Don't think Null Rod is where we're needing to be in this particular matchup. Thorn is typically fairly weak against a bug player. I think we can kind of smokestack, and probably Karn is not that good. Just keep him Actually, maybe I just get rid of the Null Rod and keep Karn. Try that. No, that can't be right, because there's nothing in my Karn board that I'd want, because it's all in my main deck. Try this. I'm hedging, like, don't truly know. They could be, you know, the Druids deck that's running Wastelands, like a Run and 6 deck. Probably fine. Force of Vigor is obviously a consideration here, but we're not going to be able to play around that. Dismember, disrupt their first big play. I like it. Turn 1 Crucible. Keep that. Collector Roof disrupts me here a bit, but I wish I had Null Rod now. Is this Collector Roof? What is this? Okay. That negates my Crucible. Collector Roof, okay. No land. Interesting. All right. What do we want to do here? Ghost Quarter, your go. I think I am going to dismember here right now. And the reason is if my opponent wastelands me, they can respond. Like if they're death right, if they wasteland, their land goes to the yard, and I can't get their death right. They can still respond and get the land. So we're going to do it in the upkeep. Be a little bit proactive there. And we just need to find some lands off the top. Look, the Ancient Tomb is moving towards killing me here faster than I would like, but I think it's worth it. Force of Vigor is just a card I'm going to have to learn to deal with here if they have it. Golos is definitely going to help if I can get Golos into play. Just keep my opponents off lands as long as I can. Okay. I'm not going to cast a smokestack here. Take 2 more damage. I'm not feeling good about this, but I think it's also very possible my opponent has Force of Will. But do our best. And gaining some life off this would be awfully nice. No. See if we can dodge a force. Okay, that's pretty huge. It's in. Definitely want an Urza Saga here. I'm going to play out my Moxen to try and facilitate some life gain off of the Inventor's Fair, which is actually quite significant right now. They did not force a Vigor me, which is huge here. Maybe it was better to go and get Tolarian Academy here, but I was quite worried about Force of Vigor. They're definitely would if I untap and they go after me. I'm pretty sure they're going to go after my Saga and my Crucible of Worlds, which is going to allow us to go after, and we'll still gain a life, and we can recast another Crucible of Worlds, or at least attempt to. My opponent does have a Mitt full here. What's funny is I think they should have attacked there to try and open their mana. They're just getting buried underneath their own stuff here. Does it get a Force of Negation here? It did not. I honestly don't really know what's going on here. Good attack. They found a land. How dare they? So this is, I mean, they have not forced a Vigor up to this point, so I don't know. I'm very confused because my opponent not attacking with their oof all this time, and I guess you could argue that they have my life so low, but they've been doing nothing with no mana all game. Like, I don't know what that means. So here's the Force of Vigor. Here it comes. Okay, maybe not. Huge hit. Okay, well, let's make a Saga token here. Everything is shut off with oof here, and if my opponent lets this work, I'm going to get a needle. Oh, they did fetch. Okay. Okay. Don't mind if I do. I'm at 6 life here. I do think we cast a 3-ball. Going to go down to 4 life, and it's a little risky. If this resolves, we've got the game for sure. Okay, so they're going to force a vigor here now. Or this could be a force of will as well. But I feel like it's a force of vigor. I think they're penciled into killing my 2 constructs right now. Let's see. They can't want this 3-ball to resolve. Yeah, okay. Okay, it's in. I mean, that's very, very good for me. We will not attack because we're quite low on life. I just want to get myself in a spot where I'm feeling safe. I'm probably going to start ghost quartering my opponent here. They might have a basic, but I'm going to be able to bring it right back and do it again. Oh, wow. Okay. That's pretty crazy. Another land. Not happy to see that. Wasteland or Strip Mine would be amazing. I could bounce Golos back and redo that. I'm kind of committed to getting constructs in play here. Yeah, I mean, this is tenuous. Them finding the back-to-back lands is good for them, but not so good for us. And what my fear here is by using the Ghost Quarter, if they do have a basic in their deck, they could maybe cast a spell through my Trinisphere, which would be unfortunate. Okay, they're tapping out. The Seiju. What are they going after? Golos. That's pretty good. Okay. We don't have anything we can get. So we go to 2, and then we'll go back up to 3. So that's pretty good for me because I can make a construct here and Ghost Quarter them now. I don't have to worry as much. Okay, that was a good draw. So let's Ghost Quarter. Yep. And we could get roasted by this if they have a couple basics on their deck, and sometimes bug players do have them. They did not. Okay. Okay. We should be able to lock them out of the game next turn with the Ghost Quarter. The Inventor's Fair has been quite relevant here. Just gaining those extra couple life have been really important to keep me afloat here. Okay, the opponent conceded there. So not a super strong showing, but a 3-2, and Smokestack was terrible. It didn't do anything the entire league. So sub those out with, in whatever you would want in that position, it'd be a lot better. But the power of the core of the deck, the Crucibles and Null Rods, the Spheres were all very good Golos. So essentially we're playing Golo Shops there. We did highlight Tangle Wire a couple times throughout the league. It was quite good in that, at least one spot that comes to mind. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and please hit the like, subscribe button. Feel free to comment, and I try and get back to you. And yeah, I appreciate you hanging out, guys.